Hello and thanks for joining me again today. I've got another video for Tonic Studios and this one is Stamp Club number 5 and it's called Backgrounds and Borders. So as you can see, backgrounds and borders can be created by the stamps here and also by some of the dies. Now I would suggest that if you're using these larger stamps for the backgrounds, as you can see in some of the samples that I've already sent off, but they're on the start of the video, it's probably best to position them properly by using a stamping platform, or you could just use them by pressing them down on top of your card or whatever you like if you're not wanting a full impression the whole way across the card. But just to position the full length of them, a stamping platform is a very good idea. So we've got some sentiments here, some backgrounds, some smaller ones, and then move on to the dies here. I'll just set this on top of the package again to let you see. So we've got a lovely little one here that you can see I've used on a few of the samples at the start. That's a lovely shape, and there's a matching stamp there as well, as you can see. And then these inner ones with lots of texture on them, and a circle here, and then these ones which cut out a pattern. But I'm also going to create a little stencil with those. As you can see, I've used it on here. I don't know whether it's very visible or not, but I've used that on here. And then we've got some sentiments as well, so the you and hugs and love, miss, thinking of, and friend. So I'll show you how I've used some of those, but I've created some absolute totally Nuvo created backgrounds here with some of the lovely Nuvo products, and then stamped some of these into the background and used some of these as well as stencils. So you can see on both of these I've actually used this circle here to make these little flowers, and then as well as having the letters cut out from these large dies, you can see these ones are left that can be used, so they can use them both ways. If you cut these out in black, you're going to have the reverse left here as well. So I'll just set these aside and get some more stuff out and make another couple of little cards for you. So I'm going to create the backgrounds for two little cards, and the cards I'm using are the Craft Perfect Bright White US A2 size, and I have cut two pieces of card to put on top, and they measure 9 3/4 by 13 1/4 centimeters. And I've gone ahead with this one, and I've created the background with the embellishment mousse here, and it's called Orange Blush, and then I've sprayed a little cocoa powder mica mist spray on top of that, sparkle spray, sorry, on top of that. And I'm just going to use a similar approach to this one, and I've got some of the, let's see, pink flambe mousse, embellishment mousse. I've put some of it into this little pot, added some water, and then I'm going to make a little background just by brushing that on. Now glass mat is perfect for the background there, so you can clean it up right and handy. And then it doesn't really matter if this has streaks or whatever, because there's actually going to be quite a lot of other stuff going on top, so you don't need to be too fussy, but just give a nice coverage like that. A little bit of my brush, I think, or a little bit of fluff, and we'll just take that off. It's determined to stay in. There we are. So you can have that as dark or as light as you like by just adding more or less water to the mousse. Now the other thing I was just going to say about the mousse is don't try to put any mousse back into the container after you have taken some out and got water onto it, because that will contaminate the rest of it. It's better just to take out as much as you need and then put your container away again and seal it up. Keep it airtight, nice and dry, and carry on. Now I'm going to dry that. It won't take too long, but I am going to dry that with my heat gun and clean up this mess. Just spray that and clear that up so I don't get any of that where I don't want it. So there we are. This will only take a moment or two. And then I've got a little box here that I use just to pop the card into, and then I'm going to take some of the Morning Fog sparkle spray this time and give just a little spray from quite a height, so, and that's enough, and I shall dry that as well. Now that's the two backgrounds, and I've taken these two stencils, so sorry, these two dies, this one with the dots on and this one, the sort of chevron pattern, and I've made myself two little stencils. So I've just cut them into a bit of card like that. I've left a wee bit of room on each side so I can tape them down, and now I'm going to just add a little bit of washi tape, or a little bit of masking tape you can do, and pop them onto here, and you can see what happens next. So now I've got some expanding mousse, and this one is grey madder and this one is Bramley apple, and I'm going to put these just through the stencil here, and this doesn't have to be just perfect because I'm going to heat this up and get some dimension from it, but I'm also going to be stamping on top of it and adding some other bits and pieces, so it's just there we are, that's good enough. And then I'll just clean my spatula off and add some of the grey matter on top of this one. Take these stencils off. Doesn't that look lovely? And there we are with the grey matter one. And I'll set that aside and tidy that up. So there we are, we've got some more detail. Now that's just a stencil made from the dies, and now I'm going to heat that, and that'll give a little bit more dimension. You could use ordinary embellishment mousse and just leave it like that, but I've used the expanding mousse just to get a little bit more dimension, so I'll go ahead and heat that up. The dimension looks really great on those, so now I'm going to do a little bit of random stamping. So I've got some of these larger stamps here, and on this one I'm going to use the soft suede ink and just put some onto this. Now I don't really need a block or anything for this, although you could use it if you wanted, but I'm just going to press down. Now this doesn't have to be perfect, I really just want an impression that there's something in the background there. There we are. And if you want to be fussier than that, you can just put your stamp onto a little block and add some ink and just go. So we've got one across that way, and then we'll do a vertical one here off the page just slightly. So there we are, and another little bit there. There we are. And then I'm going to use this one. I really like that one, so I'm going to use that on both of the cards randomly here and there. And again I go slightly less across there, and some more ink, and a little bit longer on there. Now this is just a hint of a background, because the background's really sort of involved. There's quite a lot of things in it, so we want some vertical and some horizontal. There you are, and you can see the lovely sheen of that. It's beautiful. Now I'll give this a quick rub, a quick wipe, and I'm going to use some black shadow ink this time on here, and I'm going to use that on this one. So this will keep it on the block this time. So there we are, just across there, some more ink. And there, that will do. Now I've got this one as well, this chevron one, so I'm just going to add a little drop with that as well, a little bit of the ink as well. Not too much, just a little drop. That kind of matches in with this, so there we are. Now some of this will be covered up, but just some of it will be peeping out from behind, and yes, I think I'll do some on that one as well. So, a little bit there. And overlap that. So, there we are, and now I'm going to just ink around the edges and then I'll let that dry for a moment or two. So, I've got my black shadow again, and I'm just going to go around this one. I've gone ahead and attached the toppers to the cards so that I can then place the sentiments on and know exactly how they're going to look on the finished card. So I have used the LOVE, and you can see that that came out of the first card that I showed you earlier. It's the part that came out of there. So I'm going to put that onto this one, and I'll just attach that with some tacky glue. Now, I have used the circle die, and I've cut out 3 circles for each card. So this one is in pearlescent, and then I've just used a small punch that I had, and I've made a centre for each of them. And I'll just show you how I have made those flowers from the card, and used an embossing tool like this. So I'll just set the 3 of them here, and the 3 centres then. 1, 2, and 3. So I'm just going to manipulate the fibres a bit just to get that sort of creased up a bit and looking more like it's going to be pliable a bit. And same there and there. And then I'm just going to put some glue on the back of each of those, put them into the centre. And then they're good to go, they're ready to go onto the cards. So I'll just turn these around and see where suits best. But actually, I've just remembered something else I was going to do. Before I do that, it's the best time to do this bit. I've got this little stamp here which says hey. I just make sure I've got it the right way up too. So that's from the set as well. And I've just got a little bit of this black shadow ink again. And I'm going to pop that above the friend there, so we've got hey friend. There you are. And then I'm going to do the same with this other one that says love at the top of it. I've got the little stamp that says sending. I should have done this earlier. Put some black ink on there. Oops, missed a bit. Yep. And then I'll line that up above where the love is. And we are sending love. So there you are. Now I've got the flowers ready to go on, and the topper is on the card, so it's easy enough to see where I want it. So I'm just going to take this green one first, and I'll put them down here, I think. So there, 1, 2, and yeah, there. And I'll just hold that down with the embossing tool, get them exactly where I want them. And then I'm going to take some of this, I think it's Saddlebag Vintage Drops, and I'll put that in the centre. There we are. And then I'm going to take some of this. These are Dream Drops and they are dragon scales, and I'm going to add some of those sort of randomly over the card. Those are beautiful. They're iridescent and they just give a lovely finish to a card. So there you are, you can see there's a lot of texture and a lot of shine on that one. And I'll pop that aside and bring in this one, and then we'll put the flowers on this one. They're going to be up here. So groups of 3 are nice. Odd numbers actually suit better for embellishments like that, so always bear that in mind whenever you're doing that. And I've got some more Dream Drops, and I'm going to put those in the centre of the flowers, and there we are, and some across the card here as well. So there you are. That's a different way of using the dies. I've used them to create stencils for the backgrounds of the cards, and they're quite different from the ones at the beginning of the video, but I hope you enjoy that, and I hope you'll maybe like to give that a little try yourself. So thanks for watching, and I hope you'd like to join me again for my other videos. There'll be some coming up again soon, and in the meantime, if you'd like to subscribe, we can keep in touch. So thanks again. Bye bye.